Hey there my friends, Erich Andreas, your guitar sage here, and today I'm going to show you what I like to call chord noodling. This is one of my favorite things to do on the guitar, and if you're used to playing chords but you're wanting to know how you can embellish those chords while you're playing them to make them sound really cool, to make them sound new, to add some melodies and what have you to your chord progressions, then this is the lesson for you. So check this out. So I can take a simple chord progression like this, C, G, A minor, F. And with chord noodling, I can do something similar to this. So see, basically I'm taking the same chords, but I'm doing what I call chord noodling, which is basically changing some notes within the chord, but as they apply to the chord and the scale. So specifically here, I'm playing C, G, A minor, and F. And you'll want to refer to the PDF that I've included in this lesson. But when we're in a specific scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, we're in the key of C. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. We're in that particular key. The notes are C, D, E, F, G, A, B. No sharps or flats. But we need to know specifically what scale we're in order to be able to do this, because we can't just pick any note out on the fretboard. Now, you don't necessarily have to know the names of the notes, but you do have to know where they're at on the fretboard. You don't have to know the names. And some people come about this naturally just by kind of whittling away or noodling on the fretboard, and they come across these notes, and then they do those things. And that's great. It's great to be able to play by ear, but using this method, not only will you be able to do it by ear, but you'll also be able to explore some other areas on the fretboard that you may not be able to normally do by ear. Okay, so this note here is a C, and it's on the B string, so an open B, and that's basically the 7-1 of the scale. So technically what I'm doing here is when I'm playing the C chord, I'm just lifting up my first finger and creating this embellished chord. So it's still a C chord, but I'm going, technically we can get all fancy and say I'm going to a C major 7 and then a C again, but I don't think about it that way. I like to think about it as a C chord, and I'm noodling with the melody a little bit. Now when I go to a G chord, what I'm doing is, now specifically the way I'm playing this is I'm actually bumping this high E string with the palm of my hand here and doing this bit here. But technically I could be putting my pinky there and playing like. Now again, this is still the B and the C from the scale. And then when I go to the A minor, it's just an A minor chord, and I'm going B to C there. I'm muting this low 6th string there with my thumb too. You don't have to. You could have that low E sound in if you wanted. And then when I go to play the F chord, I'm not playing a bar chord. I'm playing basically like a 5-string F chord. You could play the full bar chord as well, but I like to free up some fingers so that if I wanted to, do something like that. Now, we're not limited to those two notes. According to the map that I've given you here for this specific lesson, you can do all sorts of stuff. We could move this up like, you can change that up however you want. Now I'm playing the melody on the B string, but if we wanted to play it on the high E string, we could do something similar, okay? So it doesn't have to be that specific string. You could also noodle some of the lower notes, like really, there's, I mean, just a myriad of different things you can do. Now, a word of advice, music is best accepted when it's symmetrical. Now, obviously, things can be so symmetrical that they're boring, right? And that's what sometimes people have problems with music that's too out there because they can't relate to it, and music that's too simple, it's too boring, so there's nothing interesting about it. But ultimately, music has symmetry, and that's why we like it, because there are things there that we can latch onto. Well, here, playing the same little melody note while the chord changes gives us a little hook, a little something for our ear to listen to and go, hey, I know that melody, and it's kind of this string that goes through these different chords and keeps you focused on it. So, a little word of advice, if you want to do this and be effective at it, you may want to pick out 2 notes, maybe 3 notes, and repeat that. Come up with some sort of little melody that would be great for the chord progression. Again, make sure you look at the PDFs that are attached to this lesson because they're going to help greatly. By you just watching my hands, you may not be getting everything here that I'm actually playing. All right? Okay, I'm Erich Andreas, your guitar sage. Hopefully you loved this video. Remember, there's anything that you want to do on this instrument, anything whatsoever, you can do it if you have the proper instruction and you do the practice. So, go for it. And I'll see you in another video.